Hello and welcome back. We're hanging out on the bridge. We're probably gonna be talking a lot this episode, Lord Captain. I think I want to be talking to Jai here more to start with.
Have you grown bored with our little talk, Sherry?
Did you know Theodora von Valancius, my predecessor?
It is difficult not to be aware of the powers that be, especially ones like Lord Captain Theodora. But we never met personally, as the difference between our positions was far too great. Theodora was a mighty ruler, the center of her own universe, and I, a pathetic commoner, was nothing next to her. But you were kind to me, Shireen, and in my eyes that put you above your esteemed aunt, or whoever she was to you.
Fair enough. Get off my ship, Space Marine. That's not gonna make sense if you haven't played Space Marine, the video game. This is definitely romance option. I want to be flirting with everyone. Honestly, this lady seems more interesting to this lady that I have created than I can't see him from here, I don't think. Our friend Heinrichs. Because I want to be a radical who uses xenotech and shit. And she's a radical who uses xenotech and shit. We match better. I'm gonna flirt with her too, at least. You must forgive my prying, but has the esteemed princess's heart been claimed by some lucky fellow?
Or lucky lady, you mean? My heart has been
Fellow is gender neutral.
proud men with hard eyes, gentle maidens with sensual voices, imperious lords and fierce leaders of void brigands. Only rogue traders have not yet featured among Jai Hedari's intimate friends. Why do you ask, Shiri?
Let's answer the question with a question. Play the game a little bit, yeah? Why are you avoiding answering, Mistress Hedari?
You are prying at the treasures of my soul, my little secrets. How else can I keep them safe from such a powerful robber as the rogue trader? I dare not refuse you.
Let's be very straight with it. While actually being gay, now that I think about it. I enjoy being with you. I would like us to spend some more time together.
Oh, Sherry. With a few words, you have managed to make my heart flutter like a songbird caught in the snare of a steel
Sarcasm.
hunter. You enjoy being with me. Perhaps you even find me amusing? Every girl dreams of hearing that she will make a fine toy and a worthy diversion.
I do not see you as a toy, I just like you.
I understand. I'm just having a little fun, Sherry. I can't possibly just say, oh, I like you too. Words as dry and dull as a voiceman's dinner. They are unworthy of us.
Really?
If you are not simply amusing yourself by toying with my feelings, then why not give it a try? Go on. Or, wait. You haven't yet asked how I feel about being your romantic partner. Ask soon, Sherry.
This is going very, very fast. We met like an hour ago. Let's have fun with it, okay? My dazzling one drops to one knee. Can I trust that you hold in your heart at least the smallest drop of regard for me?
I simply cannot reject so
Wow.
ardent an admirer. To insult such sincere passion would be a wicked act in the eyes of the exalted one.
For ablutions. I'm inviting you to dinner. Over some decent wine, I'm sure we shall find a fertile topic of conversation.
I have no doubt that you are a wonderful conversationalist, Sherry. I will make a note and make sure to take you up on it when I next get hungry. But if the feelings in your soul have become a fire that is burning you up from within, then you may express them by bestowing a gift upon your humble servant.
Get off my ship. So this is a thing apparently. Anyways, that was fun, I guess. I can talk about that later. I'll see you later. Let's just check if the ladies up front have anything interesting to say.
Greetings.
Really? Oh yes, I've almost forgot that. I'm waiting for you to tell me about your past and to explain the strange words of that cultist on Footfall.
Yes, I'm ready. I would ask only one thing of you, rogue trader. If I may, I would like to see the chamber of the sacred warrant and kneel before the relic touched by the Emperor himself. A difficult conversation lies ahead of us, and I wish to pray by the relic before I lay my soul bare.
Of course, let us go there right away. Can I romance her? I seem to recall hearing somewhere that you can't romance the Argenta, the battle sister, which didn't have to be that way. Lore-wise, there's nothing really stopping a battle sister from engaging in romance with anyone, really. Should she desire to do so. Argenta drops to her knees, her hands making the sign of the Aquila. Her eyes are locked on the sweeping signature of the warrant, a seemingly mundane thing, merely a flourish on a piece of paper, unless one knows whose hand left that mark and whose blood is on that paper. So yeah, the warrants of trade were handed out to rogue traders by the Emperor himself, bestowing a great deal of authority, allowing a lot of things that most Imperial citizens do not enjoy, a lot of privileges, shall we say, for the purpose. The idea was that it was to be used for the betterment of the Imperium and for the benefit of mankind. So he gave it out to people he trusted to do that. Of course, those people are long gone and they have passed on the warrant down their lineage to people who are not always the best for the Imperium or for humanity. Anyways. If thou seest a flaw in me, smite me. If thou knowest a fall of mine, burn me with flames of fury and righteousness. But if thou seest a light in me, grace me. If thou hearest this plea of mine, bless me with wrath of fury and of righteousness. Argenta's voice is sonorous, as if made for singing hymns and prayers. But right now she cannot seem to catch her breath, so overwhelmed with emotion is she. For I breathe the will of thine, for I live by the law of thine. I carry thy word, O Emperor. I bring solace to servants of thine, and ruin to foes of thine, a fate of terror and righteousness. Upon finishing, she closes her eyes and remains silent for a long time with her head raised high. Slowly, like the first licks of a flame in a campfire, a smile blossoms on her lips. When Argenta finally opens her eyes, they are alight with uncanny resolution. Rogue trader, we need to talk, or rather, I need to tell you something. The truth. The truth about how I ended up on Theodora von Valancia's ship and about the cultists we encountered on Footfall. We don't need to be confronting her. Let's, I'm listening. Please understand, I couldn't trust you before. I tell you my story, and you'll see why. I'll start at the beginning. It's easier to piece everything together that way. Upon arriving in the Expanse and on Footfall, I found no purpose here, only torment. I wasn't needed. The reliquary I was assigned to safeguard was well protected by Reverend Hieronymus' mission, and no one was even trying to defile it. For all its lawlessness, Footfall respects the worship of the Emperor. That was when Lady Theodora, head of your dynasty, appeared. She became an agent of divine will, in a way. She's searching for words. It was from her that I learned about a planet recently discovered by her scouts, Salis Prime. For a rogue trader, the planet was of little interest, a feral world away from convenient warp routes. But for me, learning about its existence was a revelation. Please continue. The description of Salis Prime was familiar to me. It seemed very similar to a world from ancient legend, the legend of Saint Argenta and her ship. Her voice grows reverent. Argenta, the living saint, she is my patroness. The Order named me after her. She died millennia ago, when heretics caused her ship to fall from the skies. But even those blasphemers could not touch Argenta's ashes, or her holy relic, the One Star. For the fallen ship, which now served as the resting place of the saint's remains, would only allow the truly righteous to enter. All others would meet their death. Imagine what I felt when this flash of insight came upon me. The world where Saint Argenta's ship fell was merely a vague legend. No one knew its actual whereabouts, and suddenly I myself, named after that saint, come across this information. I realized at that moment that it was a portent, that I must journey to the planet and find the ship, and so I asked Reverend Hieronymus to let me go for a time on a personal pilgrimage. I boarded Theodora's ship and demanded passage to the newly discovered planet Salis Prime. Why did you keep your supposition from Reverend Hieronymus? Fuck, I can't read. Surely he could have helped you with the search for the ship and the saint's remains. I couldn't just come out and tell him. It was a portent revealed to me personally, can't you see? I told Reverend Hieronymus the honest truth, that I was going on a personal pilgrimage to embolden my spirit. It really was a pilgrimage. It was as if Saint Argenta herself had shown me the way, commanding me to undertake this trial. If I had found the ship and set foot on its decks, if I had laid my hands on her remains and the relic, it would have been a sign that I had truly been blessed with the saint's favor. Fuck. Words. I suppose I'll try and not judge favorably, or the opposite. If you were the only one who realized what you were dealing with once the planet had been described to you, then this secret was yours and no one else's, as is the decision of what to do about it. I'm glad you understand me. I had been called, and thus it was my business and mine alone. I imagine Theodora was thrilled with the prospect. Lady Theodora lent her assistance. It was her intention to visit the newly discovered world, and she took me with her. You mentioned something called the One Star. What is it? Apologies, I got so carried away I forgot to explain. The One Star is a relic kept by Saint Argenta. I belong to the Order Pronatus, and we attach particular significance to holy relics. The One Star is one of the lost relics of the past, so mysterious that no one even knows what it is exactly. Argenta's hagiography at times call it a banner, or a set of armor, or a blessed chainsword. One thing is certain, it was a beacon of righteousness, and was lost with Argenta's death. And what happened next? Defeat, Argenta says bitterly. The ship's augurs failed to detect anything of note during orbital scanning. I was expecting this, though. According to the legend, the ship can conceal itself from the naked eye, and only a pilgrim guided by a pure heart can find it. What I didn't expect was an ambush waiting for us on the planet. I landed there with a small unit provided by Theodora. I know Saint Argenta's hagiography by heart. I know all the legends about her. I followed their obscure clues, the descriptions of mountains and rivers from millennia-old tales. I was certain that I had found the way to the ship, and that's when we were attacked. The words we heard in the heretic's shrine on footfall, something about ways, doors, please addressed to some lord, the edge of daybreak. Argenta is shaking with disgust. They were the same words as those spoken by the cultists who attacked us on Salus Prime. My whole unit perished. All those honest, brave people I had led to search for the relic. It was only by a miracle that I didn't perish along with them. I didn't connect these events at first. The cultists on footfall, cultists on Salus Prime, cultists attacking the ship and Conrad's betrayal. What if these are all linked in the same chain? What if they've long since infiltrated the ranks of von Valancia's servants? What if I led those heretics to the sacred planet with my search? Let's try and encourage her. No need to blame yourself. The heretics really had wormed their way into the von Valancia's ranks by then. They would have found the planet even without you going there. I doubt it. No one except me was particularly interested in the planet. Conrad, on the other hand, he sympathized with me when I first came aboard. He helped arrange an audience with Theodora and supported me in my effort to visit the planet. I never told him plainly why I wanted to go there, but I imagine the Vulture must have figured out that it was something important, something related to the holy faith of the Imperium. And what could delight a heretic more than defiling a relic? Sadly, the only one who might have all the answers, Conrad, escaped. Oh yes, I sincerely hope that we will meet him again. That serpent needs to answer a few questions before he is plunged into cleansing flame. So how did you manage to escape from the cultists? Theodora's people received the distress call, came to my rescue and brought me aboard the ship. I barely remember what happened. When they arrived I was already severely wounded, fighting back with whatever remained of my strength. I think I shouted that we had to go after them, but they didn't listen. They took me to the shuttle and pulled out. After that it's all blackness. When I came to, we were already in the middle of a warp jump. Theodora had urgent matters to take care of and she decided she could clear out the planet at a later time. And that's why you didn't trust me before, correct? Yes, Rogue Trader. Argenta looks you in the eye. I saw with my own eyes how a member of your family showed his true colors as a servant of the archenemy. I had already suffered a humiliating defeat at the hands of cultists and was afraid of another betrayal. I couldn't be forthright with you, and so I studied you, looking for seeds of corruption, or the light of righteousness. And what did you find? A woman who stood shoulder to shoulder with me and helped eradicate the cultists on footfall. Argenta smiles as if reminiscing about a pleasant evening spent in the company of friends rather than a bloody battle. Although my opinion of you started to change even before then, back when you agreed to talk to the orphans at my request, a leader who's willing to honor those who laid down their lives for them and take care of their children is a leader who inspires trust, and the way you acted in that moment. Do you remember? There was a young man whose grief and confusion had driven him to insolence. You didn't turn a blind eye to his misdeed, but you chose the right words to show him the path of redemption. It was harsh but necessary, like the Emperor's truth, like bitter medicine that helps the sick. I learned much about you in that moment, Rogue Trader, and I want to believe that I wasn't mistaken in my judgment. So just to clarify, you were wounded, so you never found St. Argenta's ship, is that right? Yes, I rushed to Theodora the moment I could walk again, and I insisted on going back to Salus Prime to defend the relic from the heretics, but I was told that the warp had destroyed the old route to the planet and was plotting a new one. Plotting a new one would take a great deal of time and effort. As if there could be anything more important than protecting the faith and hunting down the servants of the archenemy. In any event, the route was lost, and all knowledge of it died with the attack on the ship, along with the old navigator. But now we have a new lead, the data that we collected in the cultist shrine on footfall. I don't care what that reprobate we executed said. There must be a way to track them down. Tell me, Rogue Trader, will you help me in this undertaking? Will you help me find this great relic and return it to the people of the Imperium? This music is going nuts, dude. What do we say here? Honestly, this Final Dawn cult is a real fucking problem. So I'm gonna go for... If the accursed Final Dawn is involved again, it is my duty to help you. That cult must be reduced to ashes throughout the entire Corona's expanse. Argenta walks up and places her hand on your shoulder. So be it, Rogue Trader. As I stand here before the warrant, the embodiment of the Emperor's will, marked by his own hand, I vow that I will not relent until the holy relic has been returned and the heretics punished. And may the light be with us both on this path. I feel like maybe it could have been nice to have voice acting for the those scenes as well. Like the personal quests, at least. I don't know. Okay. Let's go talk to Cassie. Was there anything else to ask her about?
Captain, your presence is welcome. And I wish to apologize for my prior coldness. After our first meeting, I was concerned that he would turn out to be another faithless offshoot of the von Valancius dynasty, like the traitor Conrad. But now I see before me a worthy leader and servant of the Imperium. I am glad to accompany you in your endeavors.
I'll leave it at that. For now.
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations.
You might have a good insight. I didn't want to ask Argenta about it. What kind of gift do you think would please Jai?
I know very little about how
She looks down in
ordinary
embarrassment.
couples come together. The books I have read always skirted around that side of life, keeping silent on the matter. A heartfelt poem, perhaps? I'm not sure Jai enjoys poetry, though.
What the fuck happens if I kick her off my ship? That's
I have
stupid.
enjoyed.
Throw down a save. What's good, Abelard?
Captain.
No, look. It's crazy to me that you can just tell people to go fuck themselves. I've been thinking, dear Seneschal, what gift would you give to the girl you liked?
I used to give Genusian lilies to the girl I liked, but the species long since extinct. Now it lives only in my memory. Ask someone else, your ladyship. I am too old to remember how to charm young ladies.
I don't know about that.
Lord Captain.
Hello, Heinrichs.
You have my complete attention.
Interesting. Very interesting. I'm not gonna do that quite yet, though. Heinrichs, what gift do you think I could give Jai?
Mistress Adari is a dangerous person, and dangerous people like dangerous things. Jai is probably partial to good weapons. She even has a small but enviable collection. Such a gift would not only be practical given her perilous trade, but it would also show that you have taken an interest in her as a person and her tastes.
Well,
Such demonstrations are very important when dealing with people with whom you would like to curry favor.
funny. You wanted to discuss the nature of your mission?
Yes, but not here. I wouldn't want our conversation to be gossip fodder on the bridge and in the officers' mess.
Another one of these, and it's not going to be voice acted. So I'm going to have to read a lot again. Thank you for finding an opportunity to talk. I trust now would be a good time to explain the reason for my return aboard your ship. I do not object to you personally, but I find the continuous presence of an Inquisition agent at my side slightly unnerving. Your concern is unfounded. As long as there is no substantial reason for it, I hope there will not be one. To business then, the cult of the Final Dawn. The madmen preach their heretical doctrine among the denizens of the Corona's expanse and instigate crimes against the throne and humanity. One such crime took place in your protectorate. The Lord Inquisitor considered it necessary to have one of his acolytes accompany the rogue trader on the voyage into the corrupted region. I also need to meet with one of my observers on the capital world of your domain. That is a good question. I do recall that he is in fact Ordosinos. Why would Ordosinos agents investigate a chaos cult? You are well versed in how the Inquisition is organized, Jane. Yes, initially our arrival in the Corona's expanse was dictated by the need to fight Xenos, but there is more. The cult is tangentially related to my main specialization. Perhaps I will be able to reveal the full truth someday, but right now I ask that you display humility and patience. The Lord Inquisitor mentioned in his letter that he is willing to show lenience toward my actions that would otherwise be interpreted as radical. That is correct. I should show greater tolerance for the mistakes of a newly appointed rogue trader. To be frank, I am surprised. The Lord Inquisitor is not the type to indulge the weakness of soul and mind, even in someone who only recently accepted the burden of a lofty title. I feel like this is to make it so we don't have to worry a lot about going a little bit into Xenotech and maybe even some of the chaos things. They don't want the Inquisitor to be like a hindrance to enjoying the video game. A chaos cult in my protectorate. Heinrich, are you laying an accusation against my dynasty? Chaos treads softly, Jane. The main danger of secret cults and sects is that they are like seeds. They can remain in the ground for decades, safe from all scrutiny, until an opportunity to sprout, grow, and bear monstrous fruit presents itself. The emergence of a cult on one of the rogue traders' planets do not mean the dynasty head herself is a chaos worshipper. Having said that, it should be noted that Theodora von Valancius was famous for her loose interpretation of the freedoms granted by the warrant. Heinrich regards you with a probing look. A bloodline can be stained by ancestral transgressions. If it is indeed so, it is in your best interests to do whatever is necessary to redeem yourself. And then perhaps you will get a chance to salvage your dynasty's reputation. You have spies on the von Valancius worlds? The person I mentioned is not a spy, but a secretary in the administratum department on Dargonus. The planet's governor and Theodora were fully aware of his status. His duty is to fulfill the sacred oath to the Golden Throne and eliminate threats to the Imperium, which the Corona's expanse has in abundance. His name is Achilles Scalander. What a fucking name. As soon as we contact Dargonus, I will introduce you as the new head of the dynasty. I am sure you will appreciate the presence of such an advisor among your subjects, and I suggest you heed his words at least occasionally. I think we know a fair bit about this. The ancients were renegades stirring up rabble, sincere prophets, hysteric visionaries, passing comet, mutant rebellion, onslaught monsters. New reason should prostrate themselves in fear, much effort, going through connection to heretics. On speed reading, the cult of Final Dawn is something greater than a gaggle of misguided seers and fortune tellers, cleverly spread their agents all over the Corona's expanse, disseminating heresy among honest people. There's a certain strategy in their action, and finally they have enough military power to have had the 2 ships that we sent after them discovered as records. Growing difficulty in making warp jumps is detrimental to us, but is unlikely to inconvenience those who engage in vile sorcery day in and day out. Events of Dragon minorities, I suspect the cult might have built a necessary when discussed mine. Your entry improves my chances of getting close. Okay. I've already agreed to give you a place aboard my ship. What else? The rogue trader should deliver me to the system that contains the industrial world of Kiava Gamma. I will then accompany you to the surface and determine what the cult is planning and how it intends to use the resources that have fallen into the clutches. It may very well include the blessed engines of the Adeptus Mechanicus and even the followers of the Omnissiah themselves. I will be frank. The answer to this question is unlikely to please either of us. The machinations of chaos usually go beyond solely inflicting countless deaths and destructions. Having their plans come to fruition would lead to far more terrible consequences. One of the systems in the Corona's expanse is already lost. May the Emperor protect us from watching this tragedy play out again. Why did your suspicion fall on Kiava Gamma? Disjointed pieces of data that finally merged into a single picture. Additionally, not long ago a vessel from that world arrived on footfall. The reports from the crew were confused and alarming, making me fear a planet-wide rebellion. We met a Chaos Space Marine on Rykard Minoris. Do you risk running into his brothers? I have no doubt it will happen sooner or later, Jane. Chaos Marines siding with the cult is very, very bad news. Most likely they kept away until recently. Pulling the puppet string from a respectable distance, these traitors seldom show up alone. The best we can count on is having to deal with just a squad of Chaos Space Marines in the Corona's expanse and not an entire company. Yeah. A 1,000-man strong company of word bearers would be extremely fucking bad news. I won't let anyone throw their weight around on my worlds, be they servants of chaos, xenos, or heretics. A commendable aspiration for a person who holds the fate of billions of people and dozens of imperial worlds in their hands. Which is why you need to be ever more vigilant when looking for seeds of corruption on your planets, lest they sprout someday and spell doom for whatever is tangled up in their roots. Well, that is enough discussion about the archenemy servants. Tell me about the Drukhari who stole Rykard's son. He winces. The Drukhari. One of the branches of the Eldari, an ancient and vicious Xenos race. Those creatures are a living terror to ordinary people who fall prey to their raids, for the simple reason that the victims are not killed outright but instead become their playthings. Just as you and I need air to survive, the Drukhari require psychic energy born from torment and pain, which they extract from their captives with uncanny expertise. This is not even exaggerating. The ships, which are difficult to mistake for any other, arrive suddenly and undetected. The stealth technologies greatly surpass the capabilities of standard Imperial augur arrays. The objective of the raids is never to capture a world or a ship. No, they are only interested in fresh victims. After filling their holds with living captives, they disappear into the webway, a different dimension which conceals their greatest stronghold, Komorach, the dark city of the Drukhari, from which none can hope to escape. Surely we won't be going there in this video game. I do not know why the Drukhari stole Rykard's son and brought about the fulfillment of the cult's prophecies. Perhaps the Xenos themselves have played into the archenemy's designs, or perhaps Aurora's divinations in fact describe the Drukhari's actions. There is only one thing I can say with absolute certainty. There is no alliance between the cult of the Final Dawn and the Xenos. It is simply impossible. Yeah, I agree. It could even be that the Dark Eldar are opposing the Chaos cult. They're not... Dark Eldar are not Chaos aligned. They're not good people in any way. And they are in fact among the worst possible people in the 40k universe, which says quite a bit, but they are not aligned with Chaos. I must go about my business. Is there anything else I need to know? Let me put it this way. You may think whatever you want of me, but my goal is not to hinder you. I am here to help you in the fight against foes you may not even be aware of. You have my word that I will provide every assistance in uprooting the heresy that has sprouted on the von Valancius worlds while their mistress was away, and that I will try to be more patient with the less grievous flaws the bearers of the warrant are sometimes known to have. Thank you for sparing the time, Lord Captain. Okay. Oof. Fucking lots of reading. I usually enjoy exhausting all dialogue there is. At the current moment, however, I feel like I kind of need to do something else. Danrock. Lord Captain, we are once more within reach of the von Valancia's protectorate. Of utmost urgency is restoring communication with your planets and bestowing the wisdom of your decrees upon the stewards, developing colonies, claiming new territories, and establishing trade links. All this is now your privilege and burden. Okay. I'm not entirely sure how you make a void jump, but I want to check out this system before we go anywhere else. I'm gonna start off with this ship here. Lord Captain, we have the flagship Druce's Blessing with a small escort ahead. They are requesting a direct Vox channel, patching you through. Chartist Captain Osterius Thorfast. The Vox channel clicks, and after a brief pause, a dry, low voice hails you. Greetings, Lord Captain. I am honored to speak with the rogue trader of House von Valancias. May your name be known through the ages. Chartist Captain Osterius Thorfast, bearer of the free charter of the merchant fleet. How can I be of service? What is your squadron doing out here? We develop supply routes for Chartist. You see, my ship is a representative of the merchant fleet in this part of Imperium territory, yet we do not have a fixed charter-defined trade route. Our mission is to establish business contacts with voidfarers in need of regular ship repairs and those who are interested in specialized goods. From where do you source the components you sell? Are you asking me to disclose our supplies to you? Well, frankly, they come from both everywhere and nowhere. We get our wares either from lucky voicemen who stumble upon an abandoned or dilapidated ship somewhere in a neighboring system, or from unlucky ones whose sorry tub arrives on footfall in such a state that it's easier to take her apart than restore her. I would like to know about the merchant fleet's operations in the Corona's Expanse. For the most part, all the Expanse has is fleets of different organizations and small flotillas of merchant ships. Uninterrupted communication between worlds is a matter of life or death for many outposts of humanity, so even in this dark corner of the Imperium, there are charters and ships assigned to the various adeptus. Alas, the Expanse has next to no stable trade routes, so the job can be precarious at times. Then again, no one is more intimately familiar with the hardships of local commerce than a rogue trader. I want to take a look at the catalogue of components available for purchase. I'm gonna pick up some ship parts, apparently. Jovian pattern. To install it, void ship man. Yep. Pulsar shield. What can I give you? Void Necron trophies? Oh, I can't really give you much. I can't give you anything. Until I fight some fucking Xenos, apparently. Actually, Heretic trophies. Do we have that? It's not just Heretic trophies, it's Void Heretic trophies and Pirate trophies. Yeah, I don't have anything to trade him. I really want some of these things as well. Ooh, it's a Ryza pattern macro battery. Ryza is a Forge World. Do we want to trade maneuverability for speed? I kinda don't. I do want to upgrade my augers though. This seems like a straight upgrade, as far as I can tell. Let's check out this dead world. Give it a scan. You scanned all worlds and reported them to the explorators? No, I didn't. Where did I get that achievement? I don't see a reason to use that. Alt attempt. Oh, that's where Lord Captain, the station airlocks have been sealed from the inside. A Vox recording is stating that the priesthood of the altar... Right. No desire to communicate with the laity and are refusing access to guests. Yeah, we can't go there right now. So, how do we make... Oh. Oh, warp routes. Travel between systems is fraught with mortal peril and takes place in another dimension known as the warp. Only a navigator can plot a course. Yeah. Click the circular button at the bottom of the screen to have the ship's navigator chart new routes to the system you have selected. To initiate travel, click danger level. Green routes are the absolute safest. Yellow routes signal that unpredictable events can occur during the jump. Orange, high probability of coming under attack even in the warp. Red routes are a sure sign that the ship will be assaulted by hostile forces during travel. Can spend Navigator's Insight, which can be acquired by discovering and scanning new systems throughout the expanse. Fascinating. And we are in the Furibunda system. Chart new routes. Oh, there's a lot going on. Special routes. Cannot reveal. Still get there by spending points. Tomb. To the Imperium? I don't believe that. Oh, this map. No way the map is this big. Oh, orcs. There's no way, dude. Oh, this is exciting. Oh, Winter Scale Trail. Omicron systems. The Cauldron. God Emperor's Scourge. Can I not zoom out anymore? Founding Worlds. Oh, that's what are those called again? I forget. Senator's Maledictum. Probably gonna go with the safe route. I'm gonna think about it, but I probably want to head here. I'm gonna cut it right here when it's getting the most exciting. When we come back, we'll make our first voluntary void jump that we choose for ourselves, which is very exciting. I will see you next time.